All right, so next up we're going to be talking about types of variables. Our main types of variables are what are called quantitative and categorical. So what's a variable? This is the what, right? Any characteristic of an individual that can be measured or recorded. So as I said, there's two types. There's quantitative. This will have a numerical value. It's answering questions about the quantity of what is being measured. Okay, so this hence the type of variable being quantitative, because it's measuring the quantity of something. Okay, so additionally, not just that it's a number, okay, when you add or average all the data of this type, the results still make sense. And it's typically going to have units of some sort. Okay, all those things together are going to say, hey, this is a quantitative data or quantitative variable. The second type is called categorical. Some books will say qualitative for quality, but most of the books that I've taught out of use categorical or categories. Because basically here you're saying, well, I'm going to sort my individuals in my sample into different categories, right? We're going to say which category, which group does this person fall into, right? Are they married, yes or no, right? And so here, that's not a quality that can be counted on a particular individual. But what we can count is the number or the proportion of individuals that fall into each group. Okay, and that's going to actually end up being our statistic, our summary statistic, which is going to be a proportion. Okay. How do we tell the difference? Well, basically, your main line of defense is asking, is what's being recorded a number, which would be almost always quantitative, or is it a statement? Yes, no, brown, green, Irish, whatever, right? In that case, categorical. So here we've got several different options. We want to identify if they are categorical or quantitative. First one would be the nation of origin. What country are you from? There's no numbers involved there, right? And just, it'd be like American, Canadian, Japanese, whatever. So this would be categorical. So I'm going to just write CV for categorical. How many siblings do you have? What's the number of siblings? So how many, that's a question about a quantity, right? How many siblings do you have? I have one sibling. I have 5 siblings. I have no siblings, right? It's measuring quantity, so it's a quantitative variable. The grams of carbohydrates in a donut. How many grams of carbs are there in each donut that we're measuring? Again, that's a quantity, right? So quantitative variable. Eye color. Now here you're not measuring a quantity. It's not going to be a number. It's going to be red, green, blue. Not red, hopefully, but green, blue, brown, hazel, whatever. So that's going to be categorical. Now phone number. It's a number, right? But it is not measuring a quantity. So it is not a quantitative variable. But your phone number is also not putting you into groups, not the whole number. The area code used to kind of put you in groups, and even the first 3 numbers of the exchange used to kind of put you into geographic groups, but that's not really true anymore. So it's not really putting you into groups. So we'll say people. It is putting you into groups of 1, which is not really putting you into groups. So it is not really a categorical variable. In fact, it is what's usually termed as an identifier. Identifier, yeah. Kind of like social security number or student number, where everybody has a unique number for them and them alone. Okay. Now, the class survey. Okay, so most semesters I send out a survey to my classes and ask them to fill out a lot of information, just random questions. And so in that case, so consider that I did that, right? We would want to know what are the individuals, and we could say Dr. Matos's stat students who respond to the survey, right? Because maybe not everybody does. Okay. Now I want to show you, some of that data. We're going to look at it in GeoGebra. So is this a sample of a population? It's probably a sample because it's very, never has happened that everybody in the class responds. But usually I might get pretty close. If I hit 50%, we're doing pretty good. So let me pull up GeoGebra, and then we'll look at one of these. Okay, so I'm using the GeoGebra Classic app, but it is pretty much the same if you use the web version. And I'm going to go to these three bars and hit Open. I'm going to go to Local File. Now you would have to have saved one of the data files from the website, from D2L, and let me show you that first. So I'm here in D2L on the Statistics Resources module, and you can see here we have data files. Okay, and usually my class survey data is listed separately here. I do need to update that, but let's go with the fall 2018. I've got mini tab format. The CSV format is really what we want to go with here. That can be opened by mini tab or GeoGebra. So I'm going to click that and want to make sure that it downloads, okay? And then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to say, okay, great, go to my downloads directory right there and go in here. Oops. Let's go unzip that. Oh, actually what I forgot to do was change the file type to show all files. There we go. And there is my stats survey, which you can see I've downloaded a bunch of times before. Okay, now what I did forget to do first was to change to the spreadsheet view. All right, so we're going to click my three bars here and go to Perspectives and go to Spreadsheet View. And here is all the data. Okay, and so along the top we have the name of each of the variables. All right, and there's a lot of them, and you can make a pretty good guess from the title as far as what it is. And from there you can make histograms and calculate statistics and all, which we'll start doing in chapter 2. So here, so first off, can we use these results to form any conclusions about the population of all adults? No, because our sample is only statistics students at Clayton State in my classes. And so again, our sample, is not representative of all adults. We could make a case probably for it being representative of all statistics students in Dr. Matos's classes, but that would probably be about it. Okay, so we can pick a couple of these variables here, right? We've got breakfast. Did you eat breakfast? Yes or no? That's going to be categorical, right? How do you sleep? On your stomach, your side, your back. That's going to be categorical. Travel minutes. How long does it take you to get from home to school? Right? How many minutes? That's quantitative. Exercise minutes, internet minutes, all of those things, right? Study hours, how many hours do you expect to study for the class? Somebody said 50. That's per week. No, 50 is too many, okay? 45 is too many. 8 to 12 is probably good. Maybe 15. 45 or 50, that's too many. Okay, so there you just get an idea, right? Do you use Facebook, yes or no? Yeah, you can go through all of these and see, do I have numbers or do I have a phrase or a word? Okay, so there we go. That's a good place to stop here. We will go back and go on next video and talk about discrete and continuous.